Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Today we are off to work. Now, what is work exactly? We are going to be on set. Now, I don't know if we're going to be able to get anything behind the scenes, but I'll try and get something. At least I'll get some stuff outdoors in the exterior, whether or not in the exterior for the whole shebang. That's up for debate, but we shall see what they'll will and let me won't record. You'll know by the end of the video if I got anything recorded, but I'm excited. It was my birthday over the weekend, so this is a nice birthday gift. Thank you to my agent for getting me this role this morning, even though I did have to be up very early in the morning because production starts at 8, but this place is not like it's next door to my residence or anything like that. So I am going to continue traveling there, listen to my podcast, and I will catch you guys a little bit later. Ooh, Halloween ghost tour. Sounds fun. We're going through a tunnel right now, and I wanted to record it because I think tunnels are pretty cool. I think we're just driving under the earth, kind of, if you think about it. Don't think about it. So the commercial was actually being shot at a concert hall, and they had posters from every show they've ever done there. And we were on the second floor. At least that was our holding area, and it was really big. It doesn't look as big as it is in this video, but it was a great sky view. We couldn't go out there because the doors were locked, but even that view alone was absolutely gorgeous. And even when we went downstairs, which is where we were shooting, it still looked outstanding. This is the part of Pennsylvania that I really love. I just can't get enough of it. Even the parking lot looks pretty cool. Oh, obviously there's not filled with cars, but just all those trees were nice. But one thing that was funny was I was trying to get back upstairs to our holding area, but I went to the stairwell and the door was locked. So I had to take the elevator, which is fine, but I always prefer the stairs because I don't want to get stuck on an elevator. I know that's a completely absurd fear, but also getting my steps in helps burn some calories. But the elevator was nice and cozy, so who am I to complain? And I got into this cool looking bar. Now, we had to do some makeup because I looked like a little goody two-shoes as opposed to a criminal, so I got that tattoo. And then I made my way down the steps. The steps down weren't locked, it was just the way up. I know why they do it, because they don't want random people walking in, but I'm on my way to the shoot now, so I will catch you guys at the end. So now we are on our way home. I actually stayed later because they needed someone to stick around to do extra work, and they said they're going to pay me, they're going to up my pay for the day, so that's really good, so I appreciate that. I mean, obviously, but they were all very friendly. It was all very nice. I liked meeting the people there. I didn't talk to because they shot 2 commercials today, and I was a featured supporting role in the first one, and the second one I was just a background extra because they needed someone, and I said, hey, if you guys need me, I got a few hours to spare, and it's only about an hour drive, so I can make it to the gym and ministry on time today. But outside of that, it was a lot of fun. It is a lot of hurrying up and waiting, and outside of that, let's enjoy the view we have here and get ourselves to the gym. And I am finally home. Not done with the day yet. Obviously, I haven't even worked out yet, even though it's much later than in the day for working out than I would like it to be. I had to take my fat burner, had to make my greens drink, and like I said, still gotta get to the fitness center, gotta work out. I might take a bit of collagen, I might add collagen to this, or I might save that for my protein drink after I'm done working out.
Some good fucking food.
But either way, I'm gonna do some cardio because we had pizza for lunch today.
Some good fucking food.
And then I'm gonna either train, actually I'm probably gonna train abs today. Let my shoulders rest a little bit because work was heavy on the shoulders recently. So I'll figure that out when I get there. But let's get to the fitness center. I already drank my pre-workout, so let's get to training. So I'm actually pretty stupid, and I got to the fitness center and made it there, forgot my camera. So what you saw was a recording from my phone, or is a recording from my phone, because I'm recording this post, but I am going to put it before the workout. So enjoy the workout. Right now I'm actually going out to get a package from my Amazon mailbox. So I'll catch you guys in a bit. I've been listening to a lot of System of a Down lately. No real reason, they were just kind of in the back of my mind. And I was actually talking about them with my best friend Tyler, and one of the things that we talked about is what subgenre of metal do we consider they fall under. Now, as we all know, there's about 5 million different subgenres of metal, which is borderline absurd, but I get why there's that many different metal variations, because there's so many different sounds you can use with metal or rock and roll, and even with certain metal bands, are they metal or are they rock? But then when you start getting into those debates, you start getting into the really, really lame metal elitist territory. But I'm talking about System of a Down here. And he said, as well as everyone else, said that System of a Down is more of a new metal band, and I can see why people say that, but I've always kind of seen them as more just harder and faster metal. Like, if Black Sabbath was faster and a little bit heavier, that's kind of how I always imagined System of a Down's sound to be, and that's just not just something that came up on a whim. Like I said, I've been listening to their entire continuity for the last couple weeks, because they're just a really good band. And the thing about new metal is it's a very open, up in the air subgenre, because you got bands like Limp Bizkit, Mudvayne, Slipknot, Deftones, and a System of a Down, Five Finger Death Punch, which some people consider new metal. And all of these bands sound incredibly different, but they're all considered new metal. I mean, some people say, well, this is a blank variation of new metal. And I've even heard people say that Slaughter to Prevail is a sub-variation of new metal, which blew my freaking mind when I heard that sentence. But that's neither here nor there, in all honesty. But System of a Down, one thing I think is funny about this conversation is I went in to talk about System of a Down, and I talked more about new metal as a whole, which I actually really like new metal, if I'm going to be honest. It's really good pump up and get to the gym type music. And when my friend and I went to Miami one year, he did a Limp Bizkit song. And I think new metal is a very welcoming subgenre of heavy metal. When you have deathcore, death metal, black metal being very aggressive or nasty sounding, especially if you like the black metal that I like, which is, like I said before, sounds like it was recorded in a shoebox. It isn't for everybody, but new metal is a good entryway to metal music, so I very much support it. Finally back from the gym, as well as the Amazon Dropbox, so I can finally relax a little bit. And I got a shirt on. I don't have my workout shirt on anymore, but I somehow got water in it, but that's not really that important, is it? But that's not the point of this video. The point of this video is that I can see the outline of my workout shirt underneath this one, but again, that doesn't really matter. What does matter, though, is I want to talk about the current legacy of Clair Obscur Expedition 33. It's actually a lot deeper than some people might think. Now, the legacy that it currently has is one where in the early months, even kind of still now, it brought people together. It didn't matter politics, religion, creed, anything like that. It was just for those, how many months was it? April, May, June, July, August, September. 6 months of people just talking Clair Obscur and loving Clair Obscur. And I hope part of this game's legacy is not just how great of a game this is, but how people just came together over it. No one really hated each other when they were talking about this game. It built its own little community, and not just a community of people playing it, but a community of ways people were figuring out how to play it. Now, I'm not talking about like in a weird Silent Hill type way. I'm talking in the way that, like, game breaking, doing no-hit runs, doing runs, can you just face all the attacks? Stuff like this. This is why Clair Obscur is as important as it is. And that just shows to me how important video games actually are. Because you have movies and TV shows and books that bring together little communities where people can talk about theories about, okay, what's going to happen in the next book? What's going to happen in the next episode? What's going to happen in the next movie? When it comes to video games, it can build a community that you're learning together how to play the game. And it's a similar situation to the Soulsborne genre, which I have admitted multiple times that I'm not that big of a fan of. But the people in that community love those games because they just have a lot of fun finding ways to just break the game after they've enjoyed it properly. And that's something that Clair Obscur Expedition 33 just brings out. Not only is it fun gameplay, it has such an exceptional story that I remember when my coworkers and I, we were playing it together. I mean, not we were at the same house or anything like that, but we were playing it at the same time. And I was going like, oh, maybe there's time travel involved, or maybe it's this, maybe it's that. And my other coworker said, oh, maybe it's actually this. And then we had conversations. We would not stop working, obviously, but we would meet up on breaks or during a little bit of downtime, just talking about the world of Clair Obscur. And then when the whole thing got revealed and we talked about that, we discussed the endings. Which ending did we think that was more deserved? And that's what I'm talking about with Clair Obscur. That's why it's such an important video game. It built this great community that I haven't seen in so long. Just a game that's so high quality that it let everyone forget the world for 6 months. I mean, obviously you can't completely forget it, but it almost like it felt like it gave us permission to just say, hey, out there in the real world, things are a bit of a doozy. But for 30 to 40 hours in here, let's have some fun. Let's build this world. Let's cry a lot. A lot. And let's just forget the real world for a little bit. And I think that's why this game is so important, is because it let us forget the world for a little bit. Sort of like how when the Avengers came out, everyone would always be talking about for the next movie, and then the next movie, and then the next movie. We would all be constantly thinking about what would be the next film. We would know when the next film would come out, but how would the story then progress? That's what we would talk about. From the ending of Infinity War to up into Endgame, how would we get there? What was going to happen next? That's what brought everyone together. And I'm basically saying Clair Obscur Expedition 33 is the MCU for video games right now, because it truly did just bring a bunch of people, united a bunch of people. Like I said, no one cared about politics, no one cared about religion, no one cared about anything outside of just having fun with this game. It really did build that community. Like, there's still people posting to this day of how to break the game, essentially. What is the best Lumina build to one-shot Simon? Heck, I'm putting on a challenge for myself that I want to do 100% or 100 times the enemy damage or their health on expert, and then do a complete no-hit run with Simon with minimal luminas. I don't know if I'm ever going to be able to pull that off, but it's an idea I have. It's stuff like that. It really is stuff like that that makes Clair Obscur such an important piece of art. Again, this goes down to video games aren't just games. They're not just toys. They are a form of art. And this game right here absolutely proves it. I mean, I can pull up a bunch of games that would prove video games are art, but this slams the door shut on the argument or discussion have you. Because I don't want to say it's an argument, it's more of I think it's just a more proper discussion. Man, Clair Obscur. Because, like, this game is so emotionally heavy, too, that after I played it, I had to play the Precinct for a little bit. And then I actually transitioned over to Final Fantasy 16 because Ben Starr, who voices Verso, voices Clive in that. And now I want to play all the games he voiced in as a lead, so it's not that many games, thankfully. But I hope he gets more work. And when I started playing Final Fantasy 16, I'm just thinking, this is a lot of fun, but it's not Clair Obscur. It didn't build the same community that this game did. I would love to see another game that does that. I have a feeling that Metaphor ReFantazio might have done that, or could have. But there was something about this game specifically, that grabbed everyone. Even people who didn't love turn-based RPGs played this game. Now, I do have a friend who just can't get into turn-based RPGs at all, and that's fine if he didn't want to. So, I did say to him, though, I want you to experience the story, because I think the story is the most important part of Clair Obscur Expedition 33. I mean, an entire video before this one, where I just discussed why Clair Obscur is one of the best stories of all time. Straight up, it is up there with the works of, like, Lord of the Rings, Chronicles of Narnia, things like that. Just pure epic and raw fantasy. And to this day, I'm actually surprised there's people who have not seen the Lord of the Rings movies. Such great films. My roommate and I, we actually rewatched Fellowship of the Ring. We're gonna, throughout the weeks, watch the rest of the series. But Clair Obscur truly is, if you can't experience the game, you gotta experience the story. So I just told him, watch someone play through it from start to finish. Make sure it's a complete playthrough. Sure, you're not gonna be able to enjoy the combat, but if turn-based RPGs aren't your thing, it's the next best way to have fun with the story. Because I think the story does need to be experienced. Again, it's the community that this game built. This game right here, this is one of the most important games ever made. And I don't know if we're ever, at least within my lifetime, or maybe we can, get another game that can just bring everyone together and just allows everyone to forget for those few months, no matter the troubles in their lives, no matter the troubles in the real world. There was Clair Obscur Expedition 33. There's a reason why there's a lot of I made a few shorts referencing Clair Obscur. It's because this game is just that powerful. It is just that impactful. It's something that I can't put into words how important this game actually is. I do want to do a full review of it one day, but I want to get proper camera equipment, lighting equipment, sound equipment, editing equipment, because that's what this game deserves. So I'm not sure if I'm ever going to truly do something like that, but that's at least a dream of mine to do. Like fighting Simon at 100 times health with no hit and minimal luminas. I already have a plan set up for how I would want to do that, but I haven't even fought Simon yet, by the way. And the music in this game too. There's communities for this game made around the music, because the music is just spectacular. Man, we need another Clair Obscur stat. Maybe I can get people into the Precinct. I mean, Helldivers 2 kind of had that. But with Helldivers 2, you need to pay for an online membership. At least on PlayStation. So I never got a chance to play, which is a shame because it's clearly inspired by my favorite book of all time, Starship Troopers. Video games are great, aren't they? Sure, there are flubs here and there, but when you get a great one, ones that can really let people come together, that is a true work of art. Anyways, guys, I got to start getting ready for bed because I got work early in the morning. But I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll catch you all in the next one.